What seems to be like a vacation. Summer's been really hot. There's been a lot of baseball, and we're getting close to football. So this is the Chasing Points podcast, episode 177. We have not done this since post glizzy eating, and it's a long time. So we'll just start off with some pleasantries. So welcome back to both of you gentlemen, Harrison, Brendan. How are you both doing? There's no Sam today.
Excited to be back. It's been a while since I had a mic in my face. Happy to see you guys. I missed you. It's been a while, touring golf pro for a couple weeks. So, yeah, it's hot out. Got a good hat tan, and just overcome with emotion just to be back with you guys.
This is the time of year that Harrison looks like Neapolitan ice cream. So
yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
Is your left hand really white?
Yeah, we got a couple different shades going on.
Nice.
My feet are we're just a different shade. Yeah.
Crazy. All right, Brendan, how are you?
Tough act to follow there. I'm good. We'll leave it at that. I'm good. It's hot. It's my tan is decent. Farmer's tan for sure. Out there riding the tractor. When I'm out choring. So yep. Me and Jesse having a good old time out there. So I'm good. I'm happy to be back too. I missed you guys. I missed talking mainly baseball, not basketball.
we know. We know.
But yeah
we skipped the good parts.
Yeah. Oh gosh. All right. Don't ask me how I'm doing. Great.
Nope.
I'm doing great.
Watch out for those home invaders.
Guess we're still keeping this trend. Well, I'm not really doing great, but life goes on.
Sounds like you got a little cold going on there, a little cough or something. You're sucking on a.
No, I went to a concert last night, and
who'd you see?
I was there during the day, and literally it was just scorching hot throughout the whole day, and then all of a sudden the temperature dropped. That'll do it to you. So now I'm just battling whatever that is. So just let my body regulate and go from there. It sounds like little nasal of the drippage. You know what I mean? Doesn't sound too good, but
walking pneumonia.
Wow. Why are you wishing death upon me? That's crazy. The next step is death.
You want some soup?
I want to punch you in your jaw for saying that. Let's get to some baseball. So we missed the whole All-Star break coming back. I guess we can kind of touch on it since we all spoke about it in the group chat real quick, and then we'll just get into the trade deadline because that is coming up on the 31st at 6 p.m. Eastern. So that's right around the corner. What was your guys' thoughts on the All-Star game or the whole All-Star weekend?
Loved it. Thought it was great. I think we when we were last on, we were saying that baseball does it best with the Derby and the Futures game and everything else. It's unfortunate Sam's not here because I think he might have been maybe one of the only ones who watched the Futures game alongside myself. But I thought it was great. The Home Run Derby was awesome. Big dumper coming through. Me and Harry, not to gloat here, but we got
good
it right.
Pick. Good pick by us.
The old dumper. And I thought the game was awesome. I turned it off, to be honest with it, because I thought the NL was running away with it. And then we get the first ever swing off, which I thought was fantastic. I thought the All-Star weekend was awesome.
I just watched the Derby. I really never missed the Derby. I really love the Derby. Like you said, they just do it right. It's like the best lead up to an All-Star game that any of the major sports do. So I was locked in on the Derby. Didn't watch the game, but I thought the Derby was awesome as always, and just really enjoyed watching it.
Enjoyed the Home Run Derby but I was in Maryland at a hotel that just so happened to have a whole bunch of families there for a travel tournament. And when I say that they were outside bumping their country music with 3 cornhole setups as if this was somebody's backyard, that's what I heard the whole time of watching the Home Run Derby. So obviously they were down in the lobby watching it, and then they migrated outside, and they just so happened to be outside under my window. Even though I was up a couple floors, you can still hear it, and they were partying until about 11:30 at night as if nobody was in there sleeping. So great times. So besides hearing that, enjoyed the Home Run Derby. It was really, really fun. Super exciting to see. I mean, it's always exciting, but excuse me. Yep, you heard me sneeze.
Yep. We're glad you made it back from Maryland after that. I mean,
I thought I was gonna have to kill somebody. Yeah, I did. I legit did. So when I told you guys that, I was not too happy. But yeah, I watched the game just like Brendan said, and until it was a blowout, and then I didn't even know there was a swing off until you said that. So that was kind of it. So yeah.
What does the swing off consist of? Fill me in.
So I think it's after, is it 10 innings? Or is it just after the regular 9, 10? Hayes is nodding yes. Okay, so after, poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if it's still a tied game after 10 innings, instead of, ending in a tie like they did that one year, or continually going through, burning through pitchers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's basically like a home run derby. Actually, I would liken it to a shootout in the NHL where like each team gets a certain amount of attempts, and whoever obviously has the most goals at the end of those attempts wins. Similar premise here with whoever has the most home runs at the end wins. Now, the big question and debate is the selections for this swing off. American League trotting out Jonathan Aranda, and Brent Rooker, obviously he's a home run hitter and was in the Derby, but where the hell was Judge? Where, Jose Ramirez or whoever else you could think of, so I don't know. Sam would be able to validate this or verify. I heard that it was whoever was still in the game at that point. But then I also heard that some guys had already left and were gone or in their street clothes or something, or
love that.
Half in the bag at that point. So it was interesting to see the selections there.
It's the first year they've done it, right?
Yeah, first time it's ever happened.
Right, we'll work out the kinks.
Yeah. But Schwarber hit 3 in his turn there, and that clinched it for the NL. So,
do they bring their own pitcher up like the home run derby? It's like it's
the bench coach or So yeah, it was someone from the coaching staff. So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it.
So Brendan, I didn't mean to leave you. I was shaking my head and acknowledging you.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
The swing off is a tiebreaker format used when the game is tied after 9 innings. It involves a home run derby style competition where 3 players from each team participate. Each get 3 swings to hit as many home runs as possible. The team with the most home runs wins the game. This format was introduced in 2022, and as Brendan just highlighted, this was the first year that it actually went to it.
Right.
So it's been around since 2022. This is the first time that it's ever happened. And then, as Brendan also mentioned, Kyle Schwarber took him home. So yeah, that was that.
All right, I'd watch that next time.
Yeah. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I was trying to see if there's like what the rules were for the batters and whatever the case may be, but nothing really from there. But really cool. I still have to go back and watch that swing off because when you were texting it, Brendan, I was just like, what the hell is Brendan talking about? Because I had turned the game off. I was like, whatever. I even said in the chat, I was like, well, this is a blowout. This is a waste of time. And then all of a sudden, like I saw like highlights quickly the next morning, and I was just like, wait, the AL came back. What happened? And then I was like, is that what Brendan was talking about? The swing? I was like, okay, now it's starting to make sense because I had no idea. I was out cold. So
swing off. Swing off.
That's your normal reaction to my text anyway, probably. So what the hell
You
is this
know,
guy talking about?
Just put it on.
No. It's only when you said certain things in a certain picture that you said now that is my reaction.
Shout out Guy Fieri.
Yes. Yes. That's it. It's the wildest picture ever.
That's
speaking of wild,
heavy rotation now. Yeah,
it definitely isn't heavy rotation now. I wish it was not. Speaking of crazy, or I should say not really crazy, because nothing really has popped off too wild yet, but the trade deadline. The window's open. It's time for teams to make specific trades. And I know we're going to talk very specifically about the Yankees. So I asked the gentleman here the moves they liked, the moves they didn't like, and what moves they think are going to be made. The move I didn't like was obviously getting McMahon for the Yankees from the Rockies when I know Suarez was out there. But I will say McMahon's defense has shown up already. So for that part, I'm very thankful, because the infield defense is sus at times. And that kind of solidifies the hot corner. Now, if his batting can get where that is, that'd be great. But I enjoyed watching him flash the leather, but that was probably the trade that I least liked. The trade that I most liked, I would say probably, I think it was getting Josh Naylor for the Marlins, because they actually got a bat. And when they've always just kind of really invested in pitching, they have enough. Finally getting somebody, and they got him pretty much as Sam and Brendan were talking about, and when I saw that they pretty much got him for nothing. So I would think that's like the best one right now. And again, there really hasn't been too many trades yet that I've seen. Kind of a couple one-offs right there, but I think it's absolutely going to pick up in the next, day or two for sure.
Yeah, as a casual baseball fan, some years I'm in very hard, and some years I'm just not. And this is definitely one of those years where I have not paid attention that much, but there are just no names to me that jump off the page, and that's just from a casual viewpoint. Like you said, the Mariners getting Josh Naylor is obviously going to help them, considering they have so much pitching. But other than that, I don't know who none of these guys are.
I feel like that's probably going to be the theme this year. There aren't really a ton of like superstars available, unless someone just at the last minute makes one or two available. And you also got a lot of teams who are still in the playoff hunt too, and haven't decided yet if they're going to sell or buy and make a playoff push, like the Red Sox, right? I mean, that was a foregone conclusion that like Chapman was going to get moved. Guys like that, even like Jared Duran was mentioned as well as a potential trade candidate.
He can come right over to the Yankees.
Yeah. I like the McMahon move though. He's got 2 more years left on his contract. Like you said, he's solid defense, already showing up in his first few games. Made a couple of really nice plays in the Phillies series.
Yes.
He strikes out a ton.
You mean the series that we got smoked in? Series?
Yeah.
Okay.
On Sunday. 1 out of 3.
Shout out Bryce Harper. Yeah. Nice job not making him an offer all those years ago. Could you imagine? I was actually talking to my dad about this. Like, if we had signed Harper, and obviously Judge then kind of came into his own. Harper ends up moving to first base anyway in Philly.
Yep.
That would have worked out perfectly. Can you imagine him and Judge back to back?
I cannot.
Would have been nice.
Because we got robbed of that.
Yeah.
Would have been nice.
We didn't even reach out to Boris or, to even attempt to sign him. So anyway, that's in the past. We look forward. And
my present.
Yeah, I agree though. So far, in the small amount of moves that have been made, the Mariners grabbing Naylor is huge. To throw him into that lineup, and there's talks that they could even still acquire Suarez from the Diamondbacks as well, which would be just really lengthen out that lineup a little bit there, and between him and Naylor, and then J-Rod, Rosarina,
and obviously the big dumper,
in there too. So that would be quite the move for them. Like you mentioned, Hayes, they have a wealth of pitching.
Sure.
Even the bullpen is pretty stacked, so that would really increase their chances of making a deep postseason run. Yanks, I've been reading that they're prioritizing pitching during this deadline, and that's also probably why they went the McMahon route over Suarez. We'll see what the Diamondbacks get in return for him, and see if it really was kind of cost prohibitive there. But the Yanks got McMahon for basically nothing. I mean, two really low level minor guys, and we'll see. We'll see what pitching they acquire here. I don't know. Maybe they swing something with Minnesota for one of their relievers, whether it's Griffin Jax or Johan Duran, and maybe one of their starters. I know that Ryan Helsley is available as well from the Cardinals. So we'll see. They got to do something though. That bullpen.
What's the move that you want to see them make?
I mean, I've been calling for my boy Brendan Donovan, not because of the namesake, but
it's because of that. It's definitely because of that.
Sure. and the flowing blonde hair.
Definitely because of that.
But I just feel like he would be a perfect addition to that lineup. Left-handed bat. He's a top of the order bat. Don't have to have Goldie leading off anymore. He can play all different positions in the infield, corner outfield as well. Now that they got McMahon, probably not likely. I would love to see them swing some sort of deal. I don't know how plausible this is, but again, going back to the Twins, I've been hearing, whispers of Joe Ryan potentially being available for the right price. We obviously have to give up a ton to get him.
Yep.
Because he's young, controllable, and obviously a really good pitcher, an all-star. If they could somehow get a package of a legitimate, front end starter along with a really solid bullpen piece in the same deal. I mean, Zach Gallen, going back to the Diamondbacks, Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly are available as well on the starters front. They got to make a splash in my opinion. So I would love to see Joe Kelly, even Pablo Lopez from the Twins, who's been hurt, but he's a really solid arm. They were linked to him back when he was on the Marlins before the Twins got him. So I would love to see them get a bullpen piece as well as a starter in one single trade. Oh, the Pirates as well. That's the other team who has those two available in terms of like Mitch Keller potentially, and then David Bednar, who's their closer. So I'd love to see them get two arms in the same deal.
I'm still pissed off they didn't get Suarez. I also heard that the Tigers are looking at Suarez as well too, which goes back to your thing about who's buying, who's not. They're going all in at this point. I also feel for the Yankees when it comes to McMahon I feel like you said he's got like 2 years left on his contract, 2 years on the deal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the perfect time for Lombard to come up and not have to worry about like a veteran being there or whatever the case may be, and just kind of letting their guy move into that spot. I hope that was like kind of the thought process going from there, but also at the same time, if you're playing that game like wait later, you're losing years of Aaron Judge, right? So that's the game that you're playing to build that. And yes, you've been to one World Series with him, it's great. You've been to multiple playoffs with him, great. But the goal is to obviously get to the World Series again, especially in being in Yankee title town, essentially going from there. So wasting those years and kind of not building around him, it was Farkas, our friend of the show. He said something that I absolutely kind of agree with. Like when you really look at this Yankees team, it doesn't feel like they're championship ready. I know they have pieces there from last year to do what they do, but it just feels like they did like a mix and match type thing and just try to mesh this together and say, this is what we're going to give you and I don't feel that some of the moves that have been made are like we're all in type moves. It feels like they're playing it safe at the same time and preparing for the future and not trying to put all their eggs in one basket for the World Series, which they kind of did last year with the Juan Soto move. So I'm kind of interested of like what are you trying to do right now? Like I want to see what Cashman's vision is. Like I know there's no Garrett Cole this year, obviously. Like, are you trying to wait till next year when Garrett's back and then trying to prepare? Like what is the? Because obviously Cashman can't come out and say, you know, we're just kind of whatever we get this year is whatever we get this year. He'll get ran out of New York, right? But it kind of feels almost that way to me with some of the moves that are being made. Like they feel more cautious than anything. That's kind of how I feel about the moves being made. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, I mean that's how I feel from, you know, just a casual viewer. It's kind of like just stuck in neutral. Nothing really happening. I mean, 4-6 in the last 10. Kind of just been that way for the last month and a half. Like when early in the season you had a little juice and first in the AL, but now you're kind of just sitting behind the Blue Jays. Lost 2 out of 3 to them the other week, and it's just like, all right, this team is the team, and they're not really. There's no spark, and you know the Judge injury obviously plays a factor into that now. But where's it going to come from? And I just don't see anyone in that lineup that can give you the proper punch. And then, you know, we said it from the beginning, without Cole, like this pitching staff it's just not good enough to win a championship. So, and that's obvious to anyone looking from, you know, within the organization or looking outside, or even a casual viewer like me that watches a game every once in a while. It's like, they just don't have the names on paper that seem to be able to get it done. And you're just seeing it now. Like, it's kind of like what will happen in October if they, you know, can hold on and get a wild card spot and make it there. It's just like, okay, maybe you win a few games, maybe you win a series, but truly you're just not at the top where, you know, Yankee fans are expect them to be.
Yeah.
It's just kind of unfortunate. And it's kind of, you know, why I haven't watched a lot. Like baseball's like an investment. Like you were investing your time into following and watching a team. And with the way this team is now, like I'm not making that investment because I just don't see it.
I agree. When you're putting Marcus Stroman out there, where pretty much all off season, you were battling with the idea of essentially trying to get rid of this guy. And now you put him out there because you don't have Luis Gil, you don't have Garrett Cole, right? The rotation is just kind of like Rodon kind of leveled out.
Yeah,
I guess at this point. I mean, Will Warren is I mean, he's still going through his growing pains. Like he's learning as he goes, right? So it's like I'm torn as a fan is what I'll say, because I'm happy that younger players are getting opportunities to like grow into their roles, right? And potentially be for future runs. Like that's what I've been calling for so long to finally see that. But now it's happening in the middle of like the opportunities of them to get back to the World Series. Like you were just there last year where you're supposed to try to build off that. And I obviously understand how hard it is to get back there or even to get there in general, right? So you have a roster and the moves that you made, obviously, because you did not get Juan Soto back. It's like, okay, we talked about that, obviously, when it happened and seeing all the pieces and whatnot. I love Belly. I'm very happy that we have Belly on the team. Like, I'm super ecstatic about that. But it's just, I'm looking at so many other things that are going on. You got Volpe, who is whatever. You got Austin Wells, who is whatever. Like, you don't know until you got McMahon. You didn't know what you were doing at third base. You were going back and forth where to put Jazz Chisholm because of DJ LeMahieu, but you also know DJ was not really that. I even heard, and I pray this doesn't happen. I even heard the rumor of the Yankees potentially even looking at bringing Nestor Cortez back because he's on the Brewers and they're so deep in pitching, and he's down in the minors right now and they need pitching help. So Lord knows I don't ever want that to happen again because I'm good on that. But it's a possibility. And then again, if that happens, and I'm going to be looking and saying like, what are we doing here? So I don't know. I'm truly am torn, and when I can watch it when the game is actually on local TV.
Yeah, that's a tough part too. Yeah,
it was stupid. We live in the net where the team plays, and you got to have 5 different subscriptions to watch one goddamn game.
It's pretty rough.
It's stupid. Yeah, it's why it's hard for me to go or to watch a game. Like I want to go to the actual game, but then I don't want to spend my money to go down there and sit down and be like and just be upset. It's really what I don't want to do. So yeah. I'm torn.
Going back to the most recent series against the Phillies, like watching those games, it's like the Phillies are just such a better team. And yes. they just have a feel to them, right? It's like, man, you got Real Muto, you got Harper, Bryson Stott, and then you got Schwarber, you got Wheeler on the mound. It's like this team just feels more like a contender than the Yanks do right now.
Yes. And the funny part is they're only 3 wins ahead, so it's like, but it's just the feeling of it. I feel the same exact way. It's just like this team is not. We saw last year what it takes to get there, and this team is not close to that. I don't think.
No. But and Hazy mentioned Judge. Obviously, if this turns out to be, more than just a 10-day IL stint, forget it. Pack it in. Mm-hmm. We go as far as he takes us, and if it's turns into a more serious injury or lengthier IL stint, then forget it. In my opinion,
I agree. I mean,
why are the Yankees not sellers at this moment?
Because I don't think they ever really want to say that they're sellers. I think that's just that.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I would say that's been one of the biggest issues with the Yanks because they've never taken really like a season or 2 to reload. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's always been, let's try to rebuild and compete at the same time or reload on the fly. And that's really hard to do. You know, especially when you don't really have the farm system. I mean, they got some nice, pieces down there, but you're not bringing up a Nick Kurtz or a, Paul Skeens or someone like a franchise level prospect. So that's hard to do, and Dominguez, he's been looking better as of late, but he's like I said, he's not on that same like superstar prospect kind of level as a Skeens or a Cruz or someone like Nick Kurtz again, Caglione, someone like that. Speaking of Nick Kurtz, I don't know if you guys saw that performance the other night.
I did.
6 for 6, 4 home runs.
4 home runs, yep. And 3 of them are Oppo, weren't they?
Yeah, he is a monster. So good for the A's. They have some nice young pieces over there. Speaking of, so dark horse here. I don't expect it to happen, but on a team that's rebuilding or trying to become competitive in the next few years, having a closer is kind of a luxury, right? And Mason Miller would look pretty nice in pinstripes, throwing 104.
Yeah, they're gonna have to toss a lot of things their way for that.
Do you move Spencer Jones for a closer?
I would move Spencer Jones for him.
Yeah,
for him for sure, because you know what you're getting right now. You don't know what you're getting with Spencer. That's been the whole thing. So perfect way to transition into talking about the Yankees, and we'll just stay there with Spencer Jones and what the Yankees are doing and kind of talking about the first half and what the second half looks like so far. We've already just talked about it, is that the Yankees got their boots smoked over the weekend. So not looking too great. The Blue Jays are looking phenomenal. Teams all around the Yankees leveling up while the Yankees are just looking like poop. And here we are. So we touched lightly on the Judge elbow situation. We don't know really what it is. It's 10-day, right? With 10-day IL stint. So we'll see what happens after that. So now this makes it very, very interesting for what the Yankees do next, because they need something. You're not going to obviously be able to replace Aaron Judge, but You need something or someone that is going to bring potential offense. And they have that, which is basically supposed to be the second coming of Aaron Judge, which is Spencer Jones. Now, we've talked about him on here on this podcast, and I will tell you all that are listening, as much as we talk about him on here, we talk about him 20 times more off the podcast, trying to figure out what the hell the Yankees are going to do in regards to Spencer Jones. So now this, with Aaron Judge going down at this time, I think it's the most interesting time to see if he's actually really going to get called up or really get traded. He's been absolutely raking, hitting home runs after home run after home run. I think he's up to like 13 in like 17 games or something like that. At this point, I don't even know what the stat is, but I know it was like he was just a little away from how many games he played, but he's absolutely killing it right now. And his batting stance kills my eyes because it's god awful. But I would love to see what they're going to do with that. Is either they're going to trade him for a big fish, or they're going to call him up and say, okay, well, now's the time to see what they do. But here's the gift and the curse of that. If he does really, really well, obviously that's the gift. And then they're going to have some things to worry about in the outfield and moving some people around and figuring that out. The curse is he's probably, as Brendan and Sam have said so eloquently to me on numerous occasions, this is probably going to be the hottest he's going to be and the most sought after he's going to be right now. So if he comes to the Yankees and he gets called up and he plays like poop, immediately drops his stock. And then you lose out on potentially getting something, basically fool's gold for another team at that point. So I guess, what is your guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, first and foremost, the gift and the curse. I thought you were referencing Blueprint
Jay-Z
there. But, hope. Yeah, just really quick too. Yeah, the stat there is just looking it up. Yeah, 13 home runs in 19 AAA games, which is absolutely crazy. He leads all the minor leagues in home runs. Still striking out way too much. But yeah, like we've been talking about in our group chat, I don't see him getting called up before the deadline because they don't want to potentially damage his value, because if they do call him up and he struggles, then, like you were mentioning, then his value kind of goes down a little bit. Oh, he's not ready for the show just yet. So it's funny because we were saying the last time we were all on together that Spencer Jones's value has never been higher, and it just continues to go up. Now it's at its presumably peak. Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, the way that he's just crushing AAA right now, he's batting 400 in 19 games. Small-ish sample size, but I mean, 13 bombs in 19 games. It's just outrageous. And he's got 6 steals for the hell of it too. So the guy's a freak. He's an athlete. He's actually a much better outfielder than I think people realize. Unless it's for a big fish, as you say, Hayes, or a big name who's really like a star player in the league right now.
Yeah, I
don't see how they can
do that.
Him, especially not for like a rental, or someone like that, or some like your average everyday player. It would have to be for a star level player who they have control over for the next couple of years.
Yeah, but like you said, those names aren't really out there this year. So I think you just kind of wait and see.
Yeah, unless someone becomes available last minute. Like I said, Joe Ryan, he's a legitimate, ace or a number 2, young, controllable. Looks like the guy from Stranger Things, which freaks me out. But if you get someone like that, then you can kind of stomach moving Jones. But so they might just decide, what? They're like, to your point, Harry, there's no one out there that really warrants that type of price tag, and they hang on to him, call him up after the deadline, see what he's got. I mean, as a Yankee fan, as trying to be like optimistic and just envisioning his 6'7" left-handed swing, hitting moonshots into the short porch and right in Yankee Stadium behind Judge. I mean, that's just very intriguing to me.
Yeah, I'd really hate to see him become someone else's like O'Neal Cruz
or James Wood, right?
Yeah,
Padres traded him to the Nats for Soto, along with Abrams and Mackenzie Gore. So yeah,
and especially with this roster that we're seeing right now, like you trade him for a big name to make a playoff run when this team is not a championship team. Like that doesn't make much sense to me.
No.
Well, it's funny. One of the names that you mentioned, Harrison, was O'Neal Cruz, who's definitely been a rumor. I don't really think it has legs, but
doesn't seem like it.
If they
far-fetched.
really want to explore something like that, you get a guy that already hits hard as hell, can play in the infield, short to be exact. Obviously, I mean, we don't know what Volpe is, and I'd take him out of there, but he's also a guy still growing into his own, and he's already has the bat talent. Obviously, his K rate is still kind of high, right, Brendan, if I remember correctly? So it kind of just needs to shorten that. But I think he's getting it. If you watch what he does, like he's starting to really, really get it, and that's scary. So if you can get a guy like that and like just say, outfielder for outfielder and maybe like a couple like one-off prospects or something like that, do it. Why not? And the Pirates are essentially the Yankees like extension of their farm system anyway, so they'll do a deal. Who knows?
Yeah. That was pretty interesting to see that rumor get floated there. Yeah, but to your point, I just don't see him as a fit. The Pirates moved him off short for a reason. He's doing okay in center. I honestly think that we would probably grow to hate him because he can't hit lefties. He's like you're saying, he strikes out a ton as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a freak, a physical freak, and just to see, he's basically Spencer Jones' size, 6'7", and has speed and power and all that. So, yeah, I think we would probably be better off sticking with Spencer and seeing what he's got.
That's the way I would lean. Just stick with it. This team's not winning a title this year, guys. Sorry to break it to you.
Especially too. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, real quick, but Max Fried also now battling blisters, which have plagued him throughout his career. So if he goes down, no Cole, then you're
not good. Things are bad.
Relying on Rodon and
the upcoming schedule is
brutal.
Is not good.
No.
I mean, every team in the month of August is battling for some type of wild card. Then you start with Tampa, who's like nipping at the heels, and then Miami, they're in wild card chase. Then Texas, then Houston, Minnesota, St. Louis, Tampa, Boston, and then maybe you get some reprieve with like Washington and the White Sox. But like this next month is going to be just make or break.
Tampa's always the thorn in your side for
they're
sure.
They're sticking around.
Always just hang around. They sometimes come out hot right out of the gate. You already know what it is, and then other years they not so much out of the gate, but then somehow, some way they're still around in wild card contention. Like I know the Rays play in like such. Obviously, they're playing this year in the Yankees spring training stadium, but I mean, they play in such a terrible place where you can clearly see like the fans really don't support in that area. You can just tell by that. And then they also don't invest back into the stadium the way that they could and they should. But the Rays, I say they draft extremely well. Their farm system is really been phenomenal. At least I could say at least for the past 5, 6, 7 years. Like they're just pumping out talent after talent after talent. If the Pito didn't do what he did, then they would have another amazing bat on that team, which he was trending to be like one of the best players in the league. And obviously that will never happen. But they've had so many great pitchers. Just think of the pitchers that aren't there now. You got Glass now that's not there now. Like that was a phenomenal pitcher. What's my guy that pitches for the Padres that annoys the hell out of me in MLB The Show? That what used to be on the Rays. What's his name, Brendan? I know you know who I'm talking about.
On the Padres now?
Yeah, unless he wasn't on the Padres. I mean, I wasn't on the Rays. What's their primary pitcher? Like their star pitcher on the Padres.
Padres.
Dylan Cease, but he was on the
no, not Dylan Cease. What's the other one? Is it like Months? Is this last name starts with M?
Joe Musgrove.
Yeah, he was on the Rays, wasn't he? Mm. Or am I thinking wrong?
He was on the
Twins,
Pirates, and the Astros prior to the Padres.
Okay. So I'm not thinking about him. But the point is, there's still a lot of Rays pitchers that are throughout the league and are still doing their damn thing, right? And it's they generate such good talent, so they're always around. So they're just annoying as hell. But I do respect them from a distance. Like they don't bother me as much, but they kind of do.
4 games with them starting tonight. I feel a 2-2 split coming. Going to be very annoying. Stick it in neutral.
It might even be a sweep, and we might be on the bad end of that.
Well, if it's a sweep, we should start trading on Thursday.
Yeah. Turn into settlers at that point.
Yeah. I agree. There was one more thing that I wanted to bring up before we left. Oh yeah, that's right. We had the 2025 Hall of Fame induction over the weekend, and our boy CC retired as a Yankee, is in the Hall of Fame as a Yankee, and also former Yankee, but predominantly with the Mariners. Ichiro Suzuki also in the Hall of Fame. Both had solid speeches. I didn't get to watch fully. I caught clips of it. My plan is to watch it all. But they both have solid jokes too. So love taking shots at the writers for sure. But I think I also think that I think the MLB just gets it. I just think their viewership is not where it get it, but they get everything right that I see like basketball needs to do. Like so they had, if you paid attention to the games this weekend, the Hall of Fame patches on the side of the hats. Super, super dope. Love that, right? Then the Hall of Fame going on during the games, right? Or during that, but also seeing the whole, parade for them leading up to that and kind of just like the build up. That obviously I know the Hall of Fame speeches and do what they do, but it just feels so much, I guess to me, it feels so much more special to watch like those Hall of Fame inductions over basketball, even though there's certain players obviously I love that I watch. I think baseball and football get it right when it comes to like the Hall of Fame. And I wish I feel like I never really hear about the basketball Hall of Fame. Like when it's some player, like a player that absolutely stands out, it's like, okay, yes, great. But outside of that, it's kind of like, okay, I missed it. What happened? Where they make sure that it's, it's dedicated to, they highlight it. They make sure everybody knows what's going on. And I really, truly appreciate that. But shout out to those two. I forgot who else was inducted.
With basketball, it's just more of a museum and just a kind of recognition of what you've done in the game. And baseball is just like got the very like stringent voting. And it's more, not that one's more of an honor than the other, but it definitely does feel, when you make it to the MLB Hall of Fame, it's just a different level.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah. Billy Wagner, Dave Parker, and Dick Allen were the other inductees.
Dick,
my boy CC was sweating. All right, did you guys?
He was.
He was sweating through his suit.
He dropped some pounds.
Yeah,
I love CC, man. Yeah. He was one of my favorite players.
Same.
I got to see him pitch in person a bunch of times, which is awesome. And he was just such a gamer, man. Like he always just threw hard and just could get guys out and just was crafty and just, yeah, man. He was one of my favorites. Yeah.
He was a gamer. Yeah. He you can put him in and that he's getting you at least 7 innings. Like he's not coming out. He doesn't care who you are. He's like, nah, I'm staying in. Obviously, he knew if he didn't have it that day, he didn't have it that day. But there wasn't many days that he didn't really have it.
He always figured it out.
He was. What happened?
He always figured it out.
Yes.
He always figured something out.
Yes.
Even when he didn't have it, he figured out a way.
Even before he was with the Yankees, with the Cleveland Indians, like he was clutch then. Like I hated seeing like the few years that we did see him. I think we saw him like in the playoffs a couple times prior to that, and just seeing how he pitched then. Like it just like, damn, this guy is just filthy.
Yeah.
And then having him on your favorite team and just seeing how he embraced it and just the intensity that he carried with him. Like when he got those big strikeouts and his pump ups that he would do, like it was like, yeah, that's my guy. And also he's rocking Jays on the mound. You know what I mean? Like how could you not like a guy rocking Jays on the mound? So yeah, shout out to CC.
He was, came up as a flamethrower, right? And then towards the end of his career with the Yanks turned into more finesse, throwing like low 90s, but with his, slider, sweeper, whatever you want to call it, sinker, like really changing speeds, being able to locate. So really, kind of reinvented his game, which is not easy to do. And I think a couple things stand out for me, being able to watch CC closely, thankfully, over the years when he was with the Yanks, but even like right before the Yanks, when he got traded at the deadline to the Brewers. And this man put that team on his back and led them to the playoffs. Just quick stats here. He started 17 games for the Brewers in that second half of that season, 7 of which were complete games, which is just, obviously ridiculous, especially in this day and age. 1.65 ERA, 11-2 record. So he was just a beast. That was 2008. So that's something that always stood out to me. Like you said, he's a gamer. He's a competitor to the nth degree. Also, remember him hitting, I don't know, I forgot who it was on the Rays, but he was due a bonus. I might be getting this wrong. But he was due like a bonus, I think, for hitting a certain amount of innings in that particular year. I think it was Austin Romine or someone on the Yanks got hit by a Tampa Bay Rays pitcher. CC was like 1 inning shy or something like that of getting that bonus and still went out there and retaliated, hit next guy, got ejected out of the game, did not meet that innings threshold. But I do think someone, either it was like fans or players, pooled in money and gave him the rest of that bonus. So that's something too. He always stood up for his teammates. Big dude, definitely not someone you would want to mess with either. So it always was nice to have his, intimidating factor on the mound there. And obviously won a title with us too in 2009. So part of that big 2009 free agent class. So shout out to CC. That was pretty great to see him going as a Yankee.
Yeah, man. And shout out to Ichiro. I know we had him again with the Yankees for a very little time, and it was lovely to see that. But 3,000 hits, 3,000 plus hits with the Mariners in general. The one of the most slept. I know he consistently was on base. Like he could hit anything that you possibly would throw to him, but his fielding and that arm that man had. He was a problem. If you knew the ball was coming to him and you're trying to run, he could definitely gun you out if he needed to. And I enjoyed the respect that he also gained from everybody. And then also in his later years, seeing the Japanese players that came over at that time and how much respect that they had for him, and they would go out of their way to make sure that they showed him the respect, and how much respect he has just around the world when it comes to baseball. Just watching him grow and not really speaking English at first to now speaking fluid English and the progression of watching that. He's been comical as he's done everything too, but also gets to it. And I think he's just a very, I would say, like definitely a 5-tool player for sure. That speed that man had too.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about crazy stats. I mean, first of all, he comes over when he's 27, right? So still technically in his prime, but not like he started his career here. Yep. And then proceeds to rattle off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 straight seasons with over 200 hits. Batted, 372 one year. I mean, the guy won MVP and Rookie of the Year his first season. Just a hell of a player, and probably the best pure hitter that I've ever seen in my lifetime. Obviously, too young to see Pete Rose or those legends like Rod players, another one. But Tony Gwynn, I guess he's up there too. But, Ichiro, just he came over in the early 2000s and seeing him frequently, I definitely the best pure hitter that I've ever seen.
I have to agree.
And shout out Dave Parker too. I mean, that's certainly sad that he passed away about a month before his induction from Parkinson's. But glad that he got into the Hall there in the Cobra. So shout out to Dave Parker. Yeah, and the speeches, man. I don't know if I'm just getting older and I'm getting softer as I get older, but I mean, out there cutting onions in Cooperstown, and it was making its way down here. But man, I had some tears flowing listening to some of those speeches. So yeah, good stuff.
I think
crier.
No matter how old you are, especially when you have like a connection to certain players and you watch them like have that speech, is like you've watched it, like you feel like you were in the trenches with that person and you've been through every single thing with them, so you have a different connection to them. I know that's what I felt like for Dwayne Wade, like when and then also I felt that for Jeter too, and Griffey. It was just like, damn, like I'm watching these guys that I grew up idolizing playing baseball at that time, like leave and not, I mean, they've been gone for a while at that point in time, but you know what I mean? Like they're, for sure, like it's just done. Like it's done. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely will choke you up for sure. I've been choked up plenty of times watching some of those. So yeah.
Softies.
Wow. 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 I don't know why we have him come on the podcast. Well, it's been great. This is a kind of short one, quick one.
You want to scroll down?
What did you add?
Do we get a Happy Gilmore 2 review?
Oh, yeah. Come on.
All right. Go ahead with your Happy Gilmore review.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, so...
I didn't watch it either.
I've heard mixed reviews, so let's get our Chasing Points review here from Harry.
I heard that Bad Bunny steals the show. That's all I heard.
Bad Bunny's great. Yeah, definitely mixed reviews. I watched it twice. Okay. Don't know how that happened. Well, first time I watched it just on my own, and then yesterday we were just eating dinner, and I was like, let's put something on the background, and I turned it on, and Charlotte's like laughing up a storm. So my 8-year-old is like, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like that's what Adam Sandler movies are for. So she sat and watched the whole movie with me, just asked questions the entire time. But yeah, it had really funny moments. Obviously the cameos there's hundreds of them. Like every single scene is someone's like, oh, that's that person. Oh, there's Travis Kelce. Oh, there's Jack Nicklaus. Oh, there's Jordan Spieth. So just a whole bunch of cameos. So like just a rotating TikTok, I guess. But the movie serves its purpose, in my opinion. It's an enjoyable watch. It gets a little crazy at the end, but it's an Adam Sandler movie. So what else do you expect? So I'd watch it. I think it's worth watching. Who knows if I watched it a third or a fourth time, but
you probably will.
My kids liked it. So, I mean, that just brings you back to like, when you were a kid watching like Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, and what's the football one? Waterboy.
Yep.
It's really, really dumb humor when you kind of look back at it and like, oh, Jesus, what? Laughing at fart jokes for the 700th time. But that's what it is. And kids love that stuff. So It's kind of like, when we talk about like all-star games, like they're really not for us, they're for kids.
Yep.
Like, that's kind of what Adam Sandler movies are. And it took watching it with an 8-year-old for me to just have that click. So I'd give it a watch. Gets I don't have like a movie scale, like 2 thumbs up. I wouldn't
trust it.
Yeah, what's your Siskel and Ebert?
70% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Would not trust it. Brendan, are you going to watch it?
I don't know. I've heard the other side of the spectrum there and how bad it is. People turn it off after the first 15 minutes. So I don't know.
You got John Daly in there. You just got to watch it for the cameos.
I mean, Eminem is in it, right?
Eminem is in it.
Yeah.
Eminem has a great scene.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe eventually, if I'm really hurting to watch
If you like the original, I feel like you have to watch.
That's the only reason I'm going to watch it is because I love the original.
Just give it a go.
I kind of got to watch it for that.
I watched the original again last night too because I was just like, why not?
Anytime the original is on, I will watch it. I have no problem watching that. Like it's absolutely phenomenal. Watch the original.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, I'll
give it a watch.
I probably will. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to share before we get out of here?
Go Birds.
Go Birds. So the E stands for? Is that an F or an E?
It's an E.
Oh,
it's the classic.
I'm so ready for my Cardinals this year. I'm hyped.
The Redbirds.
Redbirds are about to make a lot of noise.
Yep.
Okay. They got to beat one team, but good luck to them on that. Pick. Good luck on that.
Short King.
Short King's going to do what he does every year. He's going to come out hot, and he's going to get injured, and then it's going to be nothing.
All right, hater. It's fine.
History repeats itself. That's all I'm saying. On that note, it's been episode 177 on the Chasing Points podcast. We thank you all for listening. We are back. We are back.
So back.
Yeah, so back.
Except for Sam. Sam's not back.
Yeah, Sam's not back. We appreciate you guys for listening. Listen to us on all DSPs. Share it with your friend, your mama's mama, and all that. On that note, peace.
See ya.
Go Birds.
I hope that didn't catch it.